This is Southwold Scribblings with me, Janet Gershlich. Now, I live by the sea, and not surprisingly, we have lots of seagulls.
Bring your heart, bring your dreams. It's time for Southwold Scribblings.
I don't know if you know, and you probably do know, that the baby seagulls, although of course they're huge, are called fledglings, and often they fall out of their nests too early, and it's just so stressful watching them cross the road here. And they always manage to avoid the traffic, but actually watching them come across the road, you can't help but think, I must stop the traffic. Anyway, so in my back garden, in my backyard, a fledgling had actually fallen out of the nest, and I did what I was told I should never do, and that was I fed it, because it couldn't go anywhere really. Its parents probably lost interest in it, and it was just in a corner of my garden, and I couldn't resist feeding it. And what I was told later on is that you don't feed fledglings because the other gulls see it as food and they fight. So anyway, so one morning I woke up and there was a little fledgling in the corner of my garden, and it had a great big sort of gash down the side of it, and it was horrible. So I phoned the local vet, and they said, could you possibly try and sort of get hold of it with a towel, put it in a small box, put it in the front seat of your car. I actually put a seatbelt over it as well, by the way, and bring it to us, and we can see what's happening to it and what we can do for you. So, all right, so I did all the following things. I managed to get hold of it in a towel, put it in a box.
Heads for the vet.
Put a seatbelt around it, drive to the vet, which is about 5 minutes away. And then they said, well, we can bring it in, we can take it in. It's wildlife and it's protected. So let's see what we can do with it.
What did the vet say?
I kept ringing them, and you sort of give your first name, and then I don't know what it was, but I phoned up and I said, hello, it's Janet Seagull here. And they said, hello, Janet Seagull there. I said, how is my seagull? I got really involved. And they said, well, phone back tomorrow and we'll let you know. All right, thank you. I said, all right. So I kept calling them up. And eventually they said, well, we've managed to stitch it together, give it some antibiotics and let it go. And probably it's back on my roof already.
It was just a seagull.
And the other seagull story is that I was in a cafe, and a lady came running in, and she said, oh my goodness, this is what happens. One of these seagulls has been knocked over by a car. So she brought it in, and we put it in a takeaway box because I was in a cafe. And because I once had some medical experience, which I'll share with you one day, I'm sure. She said to me, right, Janet, as you do have medical training, could you tell us whether the seagull is still with us or not? That's a tough one. So I said, okay, all right, I will see what I can do. I was trying to be helpful, but I didn't know whether this was the right thing to do or not, for me and for everybody else. Anyway, so I lay my hands on this seagull in this takeaway box in this cafe, and sadly enough it was no longer with us.
It's just a dead seagull.
And so we all had a big cup of tea. We said goodbye to the seagull. I sort of said a special goodbye as a medical person, and then we decided what we'd like to do with the seagull, to give it a burial somewhere. And we carried on having a cup of tea and talking about seagulls.
She's got laughter, she's got tears. Janet Gershlich through the years. Bring your heart, bring your dreams, 'cause it's Southwold Scribblings. Oh yeah.